Well, as autumn is upon us now, I'm going to perhaps do this picture, which it tells us all about autumn, of course. It's all the fabulous colours that we've got here. This is Fountains Abbey in Yorkshire, an old monastery which was, I guess, destroyed by Henry VIII probably at the Reformation, and it's just ruins. So there's a majesty. It's a huge old abbey, but look at all the lovely trees and the surroundings. It makes you think what it must have been like when it was an active monastery, very powerful and rich, of course. And I suppose that's why Henry VIII thought he'd had enough of the power of the church. So unfortunately it got destroyed, but we've still got the ruins there. But what attracts me, of course, to this is look at these fabulous leaf colours and the contrast with the reds and the greens and the willow. And we've got the challenge of getting this bit of river in as well, and the greens. But I'm going to use a mixture of paints. I've got the Daleroni, Winsor & Newton, but I've also got some Sennelier paints, lovely French paints, which are got some very vivid colours. So I think I'm going to just have a go at that today. I'm going to wipe a little bit of a wash, though we've got to have. There's a little bit of sky, very pale, not much to it, but we don't want anything to compete really with our scene, which is largely the colours, the beautiful colours of the autumn. So let's just get a little bit of wash in over that bit of a sky there. I think we could step it up a little bit. So we don't want anything competing with our autumn colours. So there I've got the my sky in. Now I think we need to do some gentle muted washes, just to take out some of the glare of the paper. So we'll just use a few yellows and greens that I have on my palette, just to take that down a little bit. Got my usual greens, my sap and viridian and hookers. But let's just do that. And this is all lawn area here, all grassed. So we'll just wash that in. I can go over with much richer colours, which it certainly is demanding, but let's get some thing covered over there. And then oh yes, it comes down here further, so we could, like, no it doesn't, it, yes, we've got a little grass here. I can step that up a little bit there. Right. dabs of green in places here, but I'm mainly going to do that with lovely rich autumn colours. So let's get some of the darker areas a little bit first wash here. This is all wet, of course. We can step up some really vibrant colours as we go there. Just wash out some of these big white areas for the moment. And here I've got the Abbey. Keep some light tones there, bit of ochre and neutral, a little bit warmish, but that's going to be largely covered by a tree. But let's get a gentle covering here. I think I'm going to go with ochre. Let's get a bit of ochre right away into this area. I'll be putting darker features in, obviously, as we go. So that's my first wash there. But we also got lots of green area. We can still put a bit more. Well, it's wet. We can step up this and get a nice mixture of colours. Can vary. Let's get a bit of iridium in there. It's quite a different green, very vibrant. And along this section, which is closer to us, of course, so it's often a bit brighter when they're in the foreground. So, right, let's do that. Now, the thing is, should I go and with some greens in some of these areas that are clearly mapped out, quite dark? Yes, I think I'm going to do that. Put a bit of darker blue there. Darker green, put a bit of blue in with it. And that will just like try and keep some shape of it. Yes, that's a nice. We'll put a bit darker though. Again, mustn't chase too much my photograph. And we've got so a bank of trees along here. Well, not trees, I suppose they're, oh, they could be. I suppose they're going to be hidden. And then again, different areas here. Along there, there's a margin of a green. And here in the foreground we've got a sort of a willow. So getting a little bit of a wash in initially. Keep some whites on it. And we've got more different greens here. Let's put a bit of a yellow. So step up with, put some yellow into our greens and see if we can give some shape, some different colours, greens. Yes, there's one here that I want the merge banks of greens to come up against other greens, so we get lots of contrast, which is what I'm always seeking to do. And then we've got to leave some space for our lovely yellows and oranges. Hold on, I'm going to use a bit of my Sennelier yellow straight into that wet mix to see what happens. Yes, we can. I don't want to over mix. I want the watercolour to do its thing. You never quite know what it's going to do. Right in this area in the middle, I've got a really lovely yellow. So I'm going to bash that in right away, and then we'll drop, I think, some orange into it in a minute. So this is a fairly thick mix I've got here. Put a bit of orange with it right away. A fairly dryish mix too here. Let's put some more yellow. A little bit more water. Get some infusion, different colours, and here let's put some of our different oranges right away into our wet mix like that. And we've got some nice reds as well, reds and purple, so let's see what we can do. This one, come around there, and coppery ones. Let's put some different shape green. Do. Now this one I've noticed I've got some green there, but we can also drop in some sort of orange into it. Let's get some purples here, some browns. Let's get some A little bit of umber going, I think. Some of my areas now. I'm working fairly quickly. Very quickly, actually. I've got a time schedule at the moment to meet. Right. And then let's put a little bit of hookers in there. And we need to mute some of our greens. So I've got a bit of raw sienna there. And that's a different sort of green I can put in there. Right. A bit more yellow. And this big tree is probably the star of the show. I think I need to have a go at that, make sure I get that. I'm using my little wash or squirrel brush here, but it's got a little bit of a point on, but it does hold a lot of water, so you get quite a nice mix. A bit more yellow, I think we can make that a bit bigger. Yeah, let's do that. Now we've got to deal, as I said, with this tree. So on its outer margins, it's got some lovely reds. It's a big tree and it comes across the abbey there. I've got to put in the trunk on the main boughs. I think we can do that. Leave a little bit of space. There's more red on this margin, so I'm going to mix a bit of red and orange. That's it. And along that top, just stipple it in a little bit. And then coppers down here. Let's mute that a little bit with a bit of, put some of our umber. Raw sienna, I should say, raw sienna. Give me a little darker in the tree. Let's take it down a little bit. Got some darks in there. Yes, we've got to have that. And the darks come up along here. I've got to put in the boughs as well. Yes, I think that will do. Yes, in the heart of it there's browns and more muted colours. But we've got to get this all along here, a bit of texture, but over here we need to deal with some of this woodland quite a muted colour. Let's change it a little bit, and let's get a smaller brush. I think we need to something with a bit more control on. Let's see. Yes, I can see one here. This is a number, I always say this and I lose the number. I think it's about a 6 actually, 6 round. So let's get some little greens going here. Yes, I can see. Make that a bit wetter. Got some greens here. A bank of green. And set a bit of negative painting behind our abbey. I'm just looking at some of the shapes now, rather than individual elements, because you can't see exactly what's what. But I can come right up to the side of that archway there. And let's get some other interesting colours going in this bank. Some yellows, some come right up to the side of the church there, or the old abbey. Let's get a different bit of brown, I think. Need to all looking a bit too green. Try and put some branches in there a little bit later, but I need some darks in here. Yes, so there, and some oranges in that background as well, I think. Different greens. Let's get a bit of a different green there so it stands out. There he is. There's a let's put some different colour there. I need to dull that out a little bit. I think I'm going to just dampen my brush. Take some of the colour out of some of these banks here. All this woodland is coming up behind the abbey there. There's bits of ivy growing over. Let's put something there. And we've got to we can put some more yellow actually in some of the woodland up here. So I'm going to use some of my Scenario now and drop it in and mix it with some other ones and see what we get. Yes. Now I need to darken up on the elements of the abbey, I think. Also, let's get some green in that bit of water there. Come around here, this is all sort of bank. I can put a nice colour in there, I think. A bit more vivid green. There's the edge of this bank area. Grass under there. Oop. Now we've got to get this willow tree. I haven't done with that, kind of rather forgot that, but as I say, we don't have to be a slave to our reference. It's only there to give us a bit of a guide. So let's get on to the abbey. Oh no, let's get this water, this big lump of white here in the foreground. We need to get that away. Let's get some cobalt blue here. And wipe that in. Oh, I've got a nice bit of a weir here as well. I think I've got to deal with that. Comes across here. So can deal with that in a minute. And actually I do have a little bit of water there. Right. Now let's think keep some lines horizontal to show it's water. Now we've got to get something for the abbey. Let's go for a little bit more ochre, but I think I'm going to take it down a little bit with some put a bit of raw sienna, I think. Yes, I think we can do that. On this tower area as well. Because they all come together as you complete it, as you put a few features in, like windows and things, it will start to read much better than it is right now. That's it. And we've got this big arch here. I've got to try and show that. The remains of the windows and the columns and the buttresses are all there. So you can't see the detail, so you have to suggest it. And we've got some dark areas here. Use a little bit of Payne's grey. Some of these windows are showing there. Windows. Right.
Time. 3:37.
Okay. I think I need to put some more yellow in here, really. Or yes, this lower part. So I get a bit of my Sennelier and put some yellow in there. And I've got some lemon yellow as well, which we can knock out some of those reds. I think there was too much there. So let's think now. I need a little bit more variety in my green here. And some coppery colours here. So let's get a bit of that red and that orangey colours. Yes, and we can put some in here. There was some here too. Now, I think, what about some nice lemony yellow? Lemon yellow greens. I think I need some different greens in here. I've got not enough variety, so I'm going to put a nice dab of Viridian in here. Bring them right up to some of these shrubs. I mean, half of the appeal of the reference picture was the range, the way the big shrubs abut each other with different colours. So I've got to try and do that. And also this is a little darker in here. And let's push this green in here a little bit, make a better shape so our eyes, yes, that's better. We need a dark, my green is nothing like as vibrant as it should be. That's better. Now I think I need to put some darker elements into the abbey actually, but I've got to lift up a bit of dark here. And this riverbank here, trying to guide our eye in a little bit there. But I was saying I've got to get more into the abbey itself. Let's get some umber going. I think it needs to be a little darker in places. I think I need to emphasize some of the windows as well, and I better put a bit of dark side, so I'm going to get a little bit of Payne's grey. See if we can knock in a window or two here, some arches there. I did in my sketch try to mark out some of these darker bits though. Yes, I think I need to have a darker face to here, so that it contrasts a little bit with the light, with that light bit of buttress there. Got a little bit of terrace, but castellations in places. And also there's up here is an archway. I think the water is running under there. Let me think. So what about, I think we need to put some elements of a tree coming into this. So I've got a very fine pointed brush here, which we can stipple in some grass, some leaf forms as we go. But again, I'm just looking back at my old abbey there. I need to put some, I think I'm going to put some blues in here. To give me some shadow sides of some of these elements. It's a bit better. I've got to link this side with the tower. Again, looking back at my reference, I still need a little more blue in here. As the water flows the river here, and I've got to also try and do something here to represent our weir, and we've got a darker stone bit here, so let's get a little dark green. All this stone is just rolling over here and the water is coming over, so we could do that with some gouache later, but I think we could improve this bank a little bit. And say let's go back and deal with some of this. Right, that will do it. In the foreground we can get some sticks going, some branches with a fairly so we've got lots of interest going. This edge here, and what we've got to try and do is get some reflection as well. Where have we got reflections? Oh, I know. Of course, we've got to get some red in here to suggest this is reflecting here. Just downward stroke there, and we can also put a little bit of orange as well. And little bits of green coming off there to reflect this. There's our banks coming up here, but I need to put a little oh no, that's where I've got to get my little bit of a tunnel there, or a little archway. The water, there's probably a mill up there at some point. Yes. Going in there, and in the front of our abbey here, got some railings. I've got a little bit of castellations there, and try and suggest the boughs of this old tree there. I think actually we need to make that a little darker. There's a little stone there, water running off it. Darks in there, and also got more darks in here. So this fine brush, if you hold it at the end, you've got more, sort of more random, more flick, which is what you want. You don't want it to look like it's measured. Nature's not like that. Nature's very randomly. So let's get a bit more in here. Little suggestion of the leaves on it there. Oh, quite a bit of reflection coming as well. Just a vague hint. Right. Now, let me think, have I got enough dark in the abbey there? If I look very closely, yes, there are dark elements that come down all the little buttresses, and so again it's more suggestion. Just looking through an archway there. Let's try and do some other different trees here. Actually, there's banks of trees, so let's loosen up a little bit. Slightly fainter in the distance as well, so let's more washed out colour there. And we've also got some yellows there. Yes, let's just use a bit of my Sennelier there. So let me think, is that doing the job or not? We've got lots of little trees here, branches, and right. Now I think I need to yes, I think we need to green up bits of our vegetation here. It's coming into our view. We can put some different colours now as well. Let's have a look. think we're going to get a little bit more yellow. Let's get a bit more of my Sennelier. I think I've used up what I had. So let's take some of this really thick. Yes, I think we can stipple that in. Did come out into our view actually. Break up those bits of red, they're just a little bit too prominent for me really. So let's kill them off a little bit. Right. Now, should I make that water darker or not? I don't know really. No, perhaps I should, just a little bit perhaps in places. Let's get a bit of blue going and try and vary it a little bit. Up into there. Right. Use some of that dark again. Reinforce. I need to put some architectural features there though. Say our big tower here is largely obscured by the big yellow tree there. Now should I do anything with that? Yes, I think I could enforce the dark side of here, and then we'll come back with a bit of gouache so we can put a light side here. So got a little bit of my dark bluey greens here. And is there another one? Yes, I think we could. Let's bite the bullet and try and suggest more here. And then we'll put some white down one side of it. So I think we've got enough. Or should I put a little bit of green to vary something there? I'm trying to get shapes. Now I'm just looking at shapes. Do they work in my painting? That's the issue. I was going to put a willow here, but that's not work. Oh, I don't know that. Maybe we could suggest something. Yes, I think we could. It did come over here. It did come over our water, so fortunately I've got a little bit of light there. It's the issue with watercolour, of course, is you've got to have opportunity to have contrast. I think think I'll put in some flecks of gouache. It might help me. I think I'm going to make a nice bit more green there. Bit of dry brush there, giving me a bit of texture. I'm using cotton paper today. This is a really good quality. Langton's, I think I've got this one. Yes. Right, I think we've done with that. Right, let's get the gouache on. A little few points where we can introduce a little bit of white. I better get a move on. My battery is nearly gone. So let's go straight to the gouache, and down here is the water coming off here on this weir cascading down here. And also we've got, let's get a bit more light up there. It's catching the light. A little bit more on the river here. And I think we could use a little bit of white down the face of the abbey there. Catching things, and by contrast we can again put these streaks of light and dark so our abbey can show up a little bit better. And I'm just thinking there's a little bit here where you can see through. This is Fountains Abbey in Yorkshire. If you're passing by and you're interested in history, you might find it interesting there. It should be a little darker under there actually. I don't know why I did that. There we are. Right, there we are. I think we've pretty much got that buttoned up. And this is Fountains Abbey, Yorkshire. And if you're interested to see more of my work, please give me a like. Just do the thumbs up, and perhaps consider subscribing as well. Just doing a few flecks of white here. Some of these, I think I'll put some more green in there actually. I think that's, yeah, I can do some little green flicks into that a bit later, probably when I'm off camera, because I'm running out of battery. This all came down like this. So I think now what I could do, just streak some, yes, that would work. Put some Viridian along with that, and that seems to be giving me some green, more what I'm looking for. Yes, it's sort of silvery with that gouache and this viridian. It's giving me a little bit of a silvery look, which is what I'd like. So let's step up a little bit of viridian there, perhaps a bit of hookers. There it is. So what I should do now is perhaps take off my little form of, what do I call it, this little contraption I made, so I can avoid having to use tape. So what you do is, got this, I pull it out, there we are. We have our painting, a little bit awry on my framing there, but as I say, it's just to avoid tape, just to give me a more bit of a cleaner edge, although it's a bit vignette here, a little bit, it's not exactly sharp, but it'll do the job for me. Well, thanks for watching.